Alrighty, so it is 56 minutes until I turn 27. And so I feel like number one, reason I'm doing this is because I just wanted to just kind of really reflect on being 26, turning 26. I mean, living to be 26 more so than anything. I feel like it was a lot that happened to me in these past 26 years, and I feel like a new chapter is happening for me as I turn 27. Like a real spiritual awakening is like coming, and so I just, really lately just been kind of reflecting and, under really understanding like my purpose more so, finding more about myself. And I would say, thanks to COVID, it really has allowed me to have a lot of sit down moments and think about moments and talk with God moments and reflection moments that I duly had needed. So this is my reflection on me being 26. I just want to have some words to my last words to my 26-year-old self. So I'm probably going to break them down in like phases. You know what I'm saying? So I'm probably break it like from 0 to 5, 0 to, all the other good stuff. So, and my friends are texting me right now, so I'm super duper appreciative of that. But, so yeah, so let's go from 0 to 5. So I know a lot of people don't ever remember their 0 to 5s, but for me, I do. Like I do. Like my memory kind of for me goes back to me being 4. So 4 to 5, I just kind of remember, Kenyatta, you're talking to yourself. You were just you was a little a brat, but you were really like you were just so thriving and lively, and like people really couldn't tell you nothing. Funny thing is I see my niece Jade, how she acts, and she's 4, and I'm just like, God, I was just exactly like that. Like I didn't take no stuff with people or whatever. I was really mean. I was a fighter, but I was also loving and sweet, very like full of life. I just knew at 4 I was just gonna be an actor, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, my mom used to make us watch so many Julia Roberts films. And so I just knew I was gonna be like an actor, like especially after watching Stepmom. So I just like, y'all be this actor, I'm gonna be a singer, I just knew I was gonna be a triple threat. And I thought acting, singing, and I knew I was gonna be a triple threat: acting, singing, and dancing. I just knew it. You as a kid, you think that. So from 0 to 5, that was my 5-year-old self. I was just like that person, more than anything. From 5 to 10, I think life changed for me. And I would say this is because my livelihood, not saying my livelihood, but my family dynamics changed a lot. So, you just being this 5-year-old, ambitious, lively, thriving girl. And, from 5 to 10, that shifted a lot, especially at the age of 8. I feel like at 8, I experienced something totally like different, something totally new. 7 and 8 was interesting, which is so funny because 7 and 8 are my favorite numbers. But for me, 7 and 8, I just knew as a child, like, I feel like I became my defense mechanism that I have grown over the years, developed at 7 and 8. So this person who was just always lively, thriving, from 0 to 5 was literally that quickly changed when I turned 7 and 8. I wasn't, I don't want to talk about it like on here, but I will say this, like, things happen that as a young person, nobody should ever have to endure. And so that's something, well, I can talk about it. New chapters. So I was sexually, touched and sexually abused by a family member, and it happened when I was 7, and it happened when I was 8, and by the same person. And it made me feel like I just felt ugly. Like I felt fearless, and I felt scared, and I felt my adolescence was taken from me. Like I wasn't really, so like that thriving person, and I'm gonna be a triple threat. I didn't feel like a triple threat anymore. I felt defenseless. And a lot of people probably asking like, well, why you wasn't able to tell your parents or anything, or what happened, and all this other good stuff. Like, you have a loving family and da 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 da. But growing up in my household, I have I'm the baby out of 4 siblings, and out of 4 of us, and I'm the baby. And we had a big family, and so my entire, I guess from 0 to 10, well, majority of my life, we always had people in our house. We just, kinship was something that my mom like instilled in us and stuff. And so like, I don't think she really told us about like family hurt. And the only reason why I say that is because, and I would say for both parents, is because I think my parents were at that time were dealing with their own family hurt as well, because my dad felt like it was kind of like a black sheep at sometimes, or he's like an introvert in his family, and he's the oldest, and both my parents are oldest of both their siblings, so they're trying to take care of us, and still trying to be the older siblings. And I would say just watching them over the years, I know that they were trying to get, I'm not say validation, but I just noticed like things that they did, like it was never good enough for their parents, or it was never good enough for their siblings, like that, you know what I'm saying? And so they had to deal with that hurt. Like so they're dealing with that family hurt, and as they're dealing with it, because nobody's teaching them how to deal with it, because they're older, they're the oldest, like they should supposed to know everything, they're supposed to figure it out. They really didn't teach me and my siblings how to deal with family hurt. And so I would say at a young age, is not that I didn't want to tell my parents. I just didn't know how to tell my parents, because my parents didn't teach us something like that. That was nothing, like really never was a conversation we really had. Like I really had that good touch, bad touch conversation brought to my attention in middle school, in elementary, due to a class. So for me, that was just something I would just say, that time, I just feel like it was just, I became the introverted Kiana. Like a lot of people want to know, like, well, dang, Kiana, sometimes are you an introvert? Like that's where the introvert, the birth of the introvert came in. The birth of the introvert came in out of family hurt and family pain and youth, and I just didn't feel lively as I thought I should, whatever. So from 10 to 15, oh God, I just feel like I don't know, maybe it just got worse. Like I just feel like kids should not be feeling like, like, I be seeing, you see stories and you like, dang, well, all these kids face all of this stuff, and how do you have all these emotions, and why are they already depressed, and like, you're only teenagers, and you da-da-da-da, but you really never know anybody's story. You only can judge outside, and for me, I definitely can relate to some of them stories. That's why sometimes I think as I'm older, I watch so many of those high school flicks, because our teenage flicks, because I just think it's just so unique to to see them stories and how they translated to my life, and I learned lessons of like, you know what, this is something I could have did different if I was that person. Or just like, you know, basically I use them to me. They're kind of like therapeutic, if that makes sense. Because I learned lessons a lot. Like, you know, I could have did that differently. Or you know what? Because this is what happened. I can live my life and my future differently this way. This is what I learned. But 10 to 15 for me was it was hard. First of all, you know, I would say this, like, parents, if you are financially not set, do not carry that emotion around your kids. And I say that because I saw my parents do that. And it just, I don't know, it just didn't really like, I don't know, man. It just, the hurt and emotion through that, like, made me mentally grow up faster than I really wanted to. And I started to take on the bad things of growing of that, like being depressed and worrying all the time and overthinking all the time, when that really shouldn't have been none of my business, or it's not even my problem. I should be thinking about that's really more so my parents' problem or whatever. And stuff. So I just think that was something, I would say parents, and I'm telling my parents this, like, I would say the issues you guys had with any financial woes or depression, I guess you was trying to figure it out and how to deal with it, and the anger and animosity, how you released it. You released it on your kids, and I mean, you did what you had to do. Like, I'm not condemning you because you're only doing what you know how to do. You're learning in this process. But I do feel that, you know, sometimes you have financial woes, like, don't tell your kids about it. Like, just try to make it happen, even if you can't. And even if we ask why you can't do this, don't give us an explanation, because I would say this, I don't think that's something we really need to know. I think we need to let you live your life and figure it out, and that, you know, let that emotion be differentiated, you know, because I would say for me, as during that age, I took on a lot of their emotions from our financial woes, and to it affected my self-esteem, because when you like, you in that age, and I was receiving hand-me-downs, and then I went from receiving hand-me-downs to I found out I had to wear glasses. And so that was also like another garner for me. I was just like, I was hurt. Like, I just didn't feel pretty enough. I just didn't like myself. And then my skin, you see now, my skin is breaking out. But right here, oh man, I had bad acne. And then I was like skinny. Like, I was real, like, I'm thin now, but oh man, I was real bony. And then, you know, at the time when you got girls who are really like kind of filling out, and even in my family, you know, everybody, you know, they snick thicker than the snicker. I just saw it on the TikTok challenge. But and then you skinny, and then you know, at that time, I think, and it's still to this day in our culture, people validate their status based off what they have on, by designer or whatever. And I just felt like, dang, I ain't got like the latest gear. You know what I'm saying? I got these glasses on. I'm skinny. I'm thin. We ain't really got no money. And then too, I was sheltered a lot. So things that I did want to do are express myself. My mom always told me no, because the fear of, you know, like some of my sisters and past experiences. But I mean, it is what it is. Like, you know, I was able to, you know, learn from that and stuff. So even then, so for me, I feel like during that age, I really didn't have a voice. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had these glasses on, and I was just really kind of like hiding behind these glasses. Like, and you probably like, what kind of you got? Like, you, yeah, as I go older, and I'll go into that, about my stigma on my contact glasses, but I just didn't feel pretty. I just felt ugly. And even though my parents would tell me I was pretty all the time, even my sister, she would tell me, you know, like, you're cute. What are you talking about? What? And then, you know, it would be, you know, people would always say, you look cute without your glasses. Like, what kind of shit is that to say to somebody? So, you know, that can be hurtful. And too, you know, being bullied based off how you look. But as I grew up, I started to realize people bully me because they envy me because none of people fat. Not even fat. People just don't, you know, like they ugly on the inside. And so when they see somebody who's like beautiful inside out, on the inside and out, they try to tear them down. But I didn't know that then. As you get older, you'll realize that about yourself. So, and two, I was just really going through a identity crisis as a teenager. Like, we just had moved to Savannah, and that was a lot to take in because you're coming from like the country, and then you move into Savannah. Into Savannah, it's like they call it Sugar Town, so it's like the city. And you know, like, you moving there, and it's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, city, it's just, and kids in the city are just as worse. Not even better, but I would say 15 was a turning point for me because I just had to really be more real, like really face who I was. I struggled with a lot, sexuality wise. I just thought I was gay and all these other things that you just go through because I just didn't feel pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel wanted, not by people. I didn't want myself. That makes sense. I didn't want myself. And so, more so than anything. So that was just crazy. So when I turned, so I feel like towards the end of my 15 year, like my cousin Courtney graduated, really started to hang with her more, started hanging with all these older kids with my cousin, and then, you know, you start really feel like, oh yeah, now you're up echelon. But it was not based off of a clout status, but I would say just hanging around them, it made me realize, like, to be who I was. Like, it's okay. Like, you can really be your own person. Like, and you, even though you're 15, people ain't gonna like you at the end of the day. You got to be happy with being with you. People can't be happy with you if you're not happy with you. And so I realized that by hanging with my cousin Courtney, because I hung with her all the time, but especially when I was 15, because she was graduating from high school, and her friends Shanae and Dante, and it was a bunch. Oh, Dante, Renisha used to come too. We went to that party, and then I had my first little boyfriend. Met him. He thought I was cute at the time. Name was Trey. So got all those different things going on. So I learned a lot from those experiences, especially staying at Hines. I mean, because I used to go with my summers on Hinesville and be with my cousin. So learned a lot about that. 15. Well, that was 10 to 15. So let's say like 15 to like 20, right? So 15 to 20. I would say 16 to 21, however, because I went into 15. So 16 to 21. All right, yeah, that's good. 16 to 21. 16 to 21, I really was like, okay, so at the age of 15, towards the end of my, when I was 15, like towards the end of me turning into 16, I got rid of my glasses, so I started wearing contacts. Okay, that was cool. And then I cut my hair because my hair got damaged. because I was over processing it, because I was trying to fit in, and I over processed my hair from straightening it, and it thinned out. And so my sister had to do a big chop, and I kind of am happy because she did the big chop, because it spiritually for me made me realize like I had to let some dead ends go in that era of my life, from that 10 to 15 that I was holding on to. And it was thinning me out, literally, in my hair and in my body too, because I was extremely thin. And so so that for me, I was happy, because now that I start to see like I had to grow. Like, so my hair had to grow, and I had to grow as a teenager. Like, I had to do different things. I had to like really grow as a person. And even, I guess 10 to 15, I did have like a lot of, I dealt with the thoughts of suicide too, because I didn't want me. I didn't want to be here. So depression within them ages was real. So 16 to 21, I had to really grow, like as a teenager. So as my hair was growing back and getting thick, I feel like my personality and who I was as a person was growing and getting thick. So I was becoming more lively. I was becoming, I'm starting to realize more so like what I like, what I was passionate about, like career-wise, and what I wanted to do after, high school, or what I want to go to college for. So definitely knew my NAF about media. So, and it's so funny because, like I told you when I was 4, I just wanted to be the triple threat. I wanted to be an actor, singer, dancer. I was going to be it, honey. I was going to be a triple threat. And so funny thing is, got to 16, and that triple threat energy came back, but not as like an actor, singer, or dancer. More so like, I could be a triple threat in media. You know what I'm saying? I can take pictures. I can be behind the scene and make movies, be the executive director. And then I also can be the talent. You know what I'm saying? I could be in front of the screen too, because at the time, like I said, I was growing. I was getting back thick. My personality was growing. I was growing. Like, I was thickening up my livelihood on the inside. Because on the inside, I was thinning out and I was depleting too, and on the outside. But more so on the inside, I still was thin. I was, but I was healthy thin. But, I was feeling it. So I was like, okay, this is growing on me. And I just remember, I would say 2 teachers who were really prevalent to my career choice, I guess, like in media and stuff. More so than anything, I would say, especially my senior year, that really made me like push myself creatively. I would have to say Mr. Paul Sidney. It was my yearbook teacher, and I wanted to be part of yearbook my junior year, but I wasn't, because I just had a lot going on. And I did explore posts because I thought I was going to be criminal justice and be a lawyer and be argumentative, because I was like, I'm gonna put these bullies in jail who bully me. But anyway, that was not what was gonna happen, because I'm a critical thinker. So yeah. Anyway, but Mr. Paul Sidney, he made me expand my vernacular. You know what I'm saying? Because even though I was growing lively and then on the inside, I was a cusser. Like, I was like a real cusser. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was a real cusser. So yeah, that was what that was. I don't want to make this super long. I was a cusser, so that was good. That was interesting. So he made me expand my vernacular, and who else was it? Oh, God, what is her name? She was my 12th grade British lit teacher, Miss Henderson, because she's married now. I'm sorry. I was about to say her married name because we're friends on Facebook. But and to my French teacher, Kel Mikowski. So that's funny.